Talking to God every day, trying to seek Him.
Laura!
You seem happy.
Wrap! I'm working down at the mall wrapping Christmas presents.
I'm surprised anyone's gonna let you handle breakables.
And we back at it again. Life lessons of Steve and Laura. It's Steve and Laura time. Check your time. Check the time. Because it's all the time. What is the life lesson here? Know your skill. Work your skill to perfection. Don't compare yourself. As they say, comparison is the thief of joy. You know what I'm saying? Do you? Let's go.
Ooh, Bosch gingerbread house. Ooh, yes, I like.
Touch it and spend Christmas in a body cast.
Well, I wouldn't think of it. It's absolute perfection.
Right.
Oh, except for that little bare spot right there.
Steve.
Don't touch it.
Steve.
Oh, but Laura.
Don't touch it.
Really, it's right here.
Steve, I know where you sleep.
Sweet Steve, I know where you drew. I know where you drew. Now look, this is what some of y'all would try to blame Laura for. But she's asking him not to touch it. But Steve being Steve Urkel gotta do what he gotta do. No, this ain't sister.
Well, Laura, I know you're worried that I'm going to hurt your precious little house, but please give me some credit.
Steve,
Now, all I have
please
to do-
don't.
Laura,
She said, please don't. Oh. She even said, please don't. She said, please don't, Steve. Please don't. Don't, Steve. Oh my gosh. Now look at her. She on that gangster lane for you right there now. She on that gangster lane.
Get it out.
Oh.
Look what you did.
No, Steve. Come on now. Come on now, Steve. Like all the rest of them were your fault. This is your fault. Don't blame it on her.
Come here, Steve.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, come back.
See how Laura responds.
Come here.
Come here. Get him.
Myra broke up with me.
Kidding. She's crazy about you. And I do mean crazy.
That part.
She thinks I've changed. The way I dress, the way I act. She says she doesn't even recognize me anymore.
Who or what type of person would break up with somebody who is actually bettering themselves? Who would do things like that? I'm just saying for all y'all Myra lovers, all y'all Myra no, I want Steve and Myra. I want Steve and Myra. Like, how is this okay? Most of the time, people that go and break up with you with stuff like this is because you don't fit their little box anymore. Type of people, when you coming up like that, you on your glow up, like, I don't mean money wise, I mean just becoming a better you. And they don't like it, and they kick you to the curb, send them a thank you note. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Steve, it's true. You are changing. But if you ask me, I think it's for the better.
Ooh. Right, Steve.
Oh, really?
Right, Steve. Take it there, Steve.
Yes, really.
I want to think about this for just for a second. So Myra is not wrong for kicking Steve to the curb for becoming a better version of him. But Laura's wrong for actually liking the better version of him. I'm just saying, some of y'all logic is just trash. The thing I've always said about Laura, she always affirms him. Laura just affirms Steve right there. She could have piled on and be like, yeah, Steve, I mean, this makeover, yeah, it's cool and everything, but yeah, you are a little different, man. I don't know. Nope, she affirms him. The same thing that she did here. Let's take it back for a second.
Anybody? Please?
Thank you. I'll be going now. Thank you.
$100.
Ooh.
I want my kiss now.
Going to the next level. Do it right. Look at that. Forward, huh? Look at this. She was affirming him. It's the same thing that she's doing right here. But understand, y'all think that Laura's in the wrong here because she's liking this more mature version of Steve. And Steve likes himself. That's the thing. right? That is the most powerful thing. She still got a little smile on her face even right here because Steve making her laugh.
Laura, the irony is I was going to break up with Myra tonight.
You were? Why?
Because I wanted to have a clear path through the jungle of love. From your heart to my hood.
Steve, did you have wine?
If you're asking whether or not I'm intoxicated, the answer is yes. Yes, yes, yes. 1,000 times yes. I'm drunk on you, baby.
Always been. Going for it. Steve going for it. Steve is going for it. Okay.
And I always have been.
Always have been.
What am I going to do with you, Steve Urkel?
Look, I've been thinking about what you're doing here, and I must admit that it is kind of romantic.
You love me, don't you?
No, my feelings for you haven't changed. And they never will.
Woo. That's why this is so important. And they never will. That's why they never say never.
Steve, when will you realize that I will never feel the way about you that you feel about me?
Oh, yes, you will. And it's my vision of that glorious moment that keeps my little heart beating. Bubble. Bubble.
Go for it.
Oh, is she smiling
Go
at
for
me? Yes, she is. Bubble, bubble,
Go for it, Steve.
I'm sorry, Steve, but you've got a long wait.
Okay. So let's look attention to this, right? Lord said, when will you realize that I will never feel for you the way you feel for me? Where people recognize the level there? When will you, because you got to understand where the level that Steve is at. And Laura a lot of times feels like she can't even catch up, right? But things are changing, huh?
Do with you, Steve Urkel.
I'm going to do with you, Steve Urkel.
Just love me, Laura. Love me like I love you.
Love me like I love you. She game. She game. She game. She game for it. She game for it. Just love me, Lord, right? Love me like I love you. What I did not hear him say was, Lord, just accept me. Because let y'all tell it, she never accepted him. You're not seeing Steve say, just love me, Lord. Love me as much as I love you. Because Laura has always looked at that love as a measurement. You know, something she has to measure up to. Steve's love is so big, right? So Laura's looked at love as a measurement. And Steve has always looked at love as a stance, right? Oh my gosh, beautiful moment. Laura, you better go, girl. Huh, put one on her. Oh, here we go. Beautiful moment. Look at Steve, though. The kiss ain't over. The kiss ain't over for Steve, man. The kiss ain't over. Look.
Myra! Don't you, Myra, me. How could you betray me like this?
Whoa, what?
Betray you?
Right.
Well, 2 hours ago, you broke up with me.
Kicked him
Why
to the
you
curb.
tossed me aside like a smelly gym sock.
Facts.
Oh, fish sticks. I wasn't dumping you. That was a carefully orchestrated charade designed to drive you back into my arms.
Let y'all tell it. Playing my games is acceptable. You know, Laura's the devil. Oh my gosh, because Laura popped off at Steve. She's the devil. Myra can literally admit that she is playing with your mind and it's acceptable. Okay, all right.
You really scare me.
Tell the truth, Laura.
Steven, if you think I let you go just so you can get on with your life, you're one bearded lady short of a freak show.
You scaring me, too.
I want you to stop being this silly new Steve and come crawling back to me and beg my forgiveness. Please?
She told Steve, first of all, to crawl like a wan-wan because that's how she been treating him, like a wan-wan, like a baby, right? Crawl back to me when he wasn't even feeling her like that in the first place. But he's supposed to crawl back to her because Myra has somehow made it seem like she's the victim. Myra has somehow made it seem like Steve is the one in the wrong. But this is what y'all say love is. This is what y'all say love looks like. This is what y'all say love is supposed to feel like. Really, at his best version, Myra's telling him to crawl. Steve, at his most mature level that he's ever been, Myra wants him to crawl like a wan-wan baby. Wham, wham. because that's how she's treated him, because that's how she wants him to act. Because when he acts that way, it is a whole lot easier to be able to what? To control him. Ugh.
I'm sorry, Myra.
Right. That's over.
Mama likes to oompa fa all night long.
Stop! Enough of the devil's polka. Now, Myra, this breakup was for the best.
Mm-hmm.
Laura and I...
Oh, I see.
Oh.
It's Laura. It's always Laura. For the life of me, I can't understand what you see in this strumpet.
Now, it's not only Steve's fault that Myra can't accept the new version of him, but now it's also Laura's fault. This is what I have been saying about Myra the whole time. Where's her responsibility in this? Where is her accountability in this? Where is her, I'm sorry, Steve? Y'all say love is. Myra really loved Steve from the very beginning. No, she loved her version of Steve. She loved her Janet Jackson control Steve. Laura, handle your business. Handle your business, Laura. Go and do what you got to do.
Strumpet?
Yep, do what you got to do. The disrespect.
Got your strumpet.
Exactly.
I thought you were stumping it out. So come on, Miss Red.
Girls, don't fight over me.
Laura's a lot nicer, wouldn't it be?
Stephen, I've changed my mind and I want you back.
Changed my mind. She didn't say I'm sorry. Stephen, I changed my mind. And I want you back. Not like, Steve, I'm sorry. Steve, can we talk? Steve, can we come over here and talk about it? Steve, I apologize. I messed up. I was wrong. I don't want to lose you. No, I changed my mind. Urkel doll. Hey, Urkel doll. I changed my mind and I want you back. There's no apology. There's no accountability. Urkel doll, you're supposed to listen to my commands, Urkel doll. Oh my gosh. But you know what I love? I love Laura's stance right here though. Let's look at it. She know what it is now. Laura know what it is now. I love it.
I'm sorry, Myra, but it's over.
Yeah. Stomp like a child. Out the door.
This is all your fault.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
You may have won the battle, but you will never win the war. Stephen Q. Urkel is my man, and I won't let him go without a fight.
Myra, you said you won't let him go without a fight. You already did. You already gave him up. That's why he's in the situation that he's in. Again, this is your fault. Oh my gosh, but y'all really trying to say that Myra, y'all act like Myra was a saint and Laura was the devil. I can't. I just can't. Things are happening. Things are happening. You know, wasn't it TLC, I think they said, I think they said, meant to be. Y'all know that song? Okay, anyway, I ain't gonna go in. I ain't gonna go. I'm gonna let them handle that, okay? But, you know, one thing that we're seeing here with Steve and Laura that I love this storyline is that you can see that they're meant to be. You know what I'm saying? I told you, I think TLC making a song about them. I don't know. You know, 90s group, 90s, I don't know. But you can really see that Steve and Laura, like they're meant to be. And what we got to understand is just because somebody isn't meant to be at 15 does not mean that they're not meant to be at 2021, you know, and, you know, this whole big thing with Lauren, Myra loves Steve first. And I'm going to keep telling y'all, Myra will never love Steve first, nor will ever catch up with the love that Laura already has for Steve, because the greatest love you will have for somebody is friendship. This love is friendship. It is the greatest love. It is the love that you can back up on when the romance ain't, flowing the way that it should, right? You can fall back on friendship when there's a misunderstanding. You can fall back on friendship when what we're seeing right now, where you're growing and evolving and changing. That is what Myra does not have with Steve, that Laura does, is friendship, love. There's nothing like it. And that's what you're seeing with Steve and Laura right now, that again, this blossoming into romance. This is why I love the Steve and Laura storyline so much is because their friendship blossomed into a romance. It was not the other way around, or that it was just a romance like Steve has with Myra or what Laura has with Stefan. But this is a friendship, and out of the friendship, it births this beautiful, beautiful next level love. And I just think it's amazing. That's why I keep saying all the time why I love it, is because Steve and Laura, even right now in these moments, these are not lustful moments, right? These are that strong friendship love moments. And that's what, what we're seeing here. When people get on Laura and she was mean to Steve and she didn't yabba dabba do, right? But the thing that I think people miss about it is that Steve understood love before Laura did. Steve understood, and even still now, Laura's mind is still kind of caught up a little bit. But Steve understood love, and Laura saw lust as love. Laura didn't quite understand it. She's learning it now. Steve has been an example of love to her, right? As well as Laura has been to him. As long as Laura's around, Steve understands what love feels like. Even if Myra's sitting right next to him, he understands what that true love feels like, right? And Laura didn't understand that. And sometimes it happens when you go and you get in situations like Steve, where he goes home and his parents probably don't love each other right, and then they don't love him right. And it actually gives you a clearer view on what love is, because you haven't experienced it, right? Versus Laura, like I said, Laura's been surrounded by love. And we would sit here and think like, no, she's the one that should know it better. Sometimes it don't happen like that. Sometimes when you're birthed into something, you take it for granted. You don't understand, you don't understand it. You have to learn it. And you're like, that don't make sense. You were birthed into it. Since Steve was not birthed into love, he had an understanding and a grasp of what love was very young. Laura birthed into it. She has to learn as she grows, and this is what I think is such a pivotal thing, and why I just love it so much. If Steve would have given in to temptation, if Steve would have given into Myra temptation, you know what I'm saying? Put some stuff up here so y'all can see where it going down, okay?
Now you're a tasty wench, but I an unopened can of soda. And I know you're thirsty, but I'm not ready to pop my top. Myra is very voluptuous.
Beautiful. Beautifulness.
Voluptuosity. Try and get me volupted.
Yeah.
But I want to wait. I want my wedding night to be special. Keep yourself here. Your wedding night will mean more.
Woo. If Steve would have fallen for those things, I think he would have he would have started to mix love with lust. I think it would have mixed them up, which is what majority of people do. That's why the Lord says to wait until marriage, so you don't mix love with lust. And so I think it was so smart of Steve to not give into Myra, to not give his body away, because I think it would have messed up his mind, and then he wouldn't have known what, love is, and he would not be in this moment right here. And I think that's the amazing part about it. And even on the side of Laura has, Laura has some temptations, okay? At the end of the day, they did not fall for those, temptations. They're still right. This is why I say it's so beautiful. Steve and Laura are as pure as the snow right now. Laura has not given any part of herself away. Steve has not given any part of himself away. So they can fully give themselves to each other. And it is a beautiful thing. And guys, it's what God intended initially. We always think that our way is better. Our way will never be better than God's way.
Here's the deal. You can be married, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're ready to be someone's partner in life, meaning their growth, their expansion, their changes. And that's where your friendship comes in. Because, when you're married, sometimes the romance, comes and it goes. But I'm going to tell you what never leaves. That's that friend love. And that's that commitment to ride or die with somebody through every step of life.
But you saw that video that I just know, I will say it again, okay? I will say it again. I would not take marital advice from Jada Pinkett. But again, like I said, what she said right there is absolutely true. That friendship love is it's the most powerful force on the earth. You know what I'm saying? And that is, I think, the beauty about Steve and Laura is that people don't recognize this about Laura, but they've always had a friendship love. Laura has always had a love for Steve, but it was a friendship love, right? It was a friendship love that has blossomed into everything. Okay, she can't keep her lips off him. Okay, it's blossomed into that. It's organic. It's pure. Something that you can see that Myra didn't have. She wants Steve to be her version of Steve. She wants her own Steve Urkel doll. You know what I'm saying? Pull the string. Did I do that? She wants her own version of the Steve Urkel doll. She don't really want Steve. I mind how people say Myra, what is the asinineness from Myra? Myra loved him first. That's a lie. Myra accepted Steve for who he was. That's a lie. Like, I just can't believe. And so what I realize is a lot of y'all gas Myra up in such a way because you have to. You got to, as they say, cap on her, if you will, because she can't stand on her own. Laura can stand. I've said this before, and this is my last little point. I've said this before about Laura. Laura is not perfect, right? I don't have to lie and justify. Laura, I've said it. Laura is not perfect, right? But this is the thing, and I'm gonna put my sis song on here again.
Help me love them even when I feel betrayed. I'm not perfect, but my purpose still the same.
So let me repeat. You heard my sis say. She said, "I'm not perfect, but my purpose is still the same." And this is what I'm this is what I'm talking about when it pertains to Laura. Laura's not perfect, but that don't mean she was never right for Steve. That don't mean that your imperfections does not change your purpose. You know what I'm saying? Now you may say, well, what about Myra? What about Myra? Yeah, let's talk about Myra for a second. I showed throughout that whole entire video, Myra doesn't take responsibility. She doesn't take accountability. She doesn't do any of that. And you know what happens? You don't grow. When you don't forgive, when you don't take accountability, when you don't take responsibility, you don't grow. The problem with Myra is it's not that she's her imperfection that makes her not right for Steve. Myra don't ever try to get it right. Everybody is in the wrong but her. That you can't grow with a person like that. So that's the problem when it comes to Myra. With Laura takes accountability. She takes responsibility. Laura even takes Steve's rebukes, right? When he stepped to her, like for real, she even takes that. That is why they're sharing this moment right now. That is why they're in this moment right now. Because through the years, even in Laura's imperfection, she has grown. She has become better. Steve is becoming better, and they're meeting each other at the right time. And that's what we got to understand. Like I said, when she said, I'll say it again, delayed does not mean denial. Love God, love people. May God bless you. May God keep.